Hello again, folks. This is Anti-Laz, or Podcast Quinte, and this is Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut for the PC. Alright, I'll stop. Today we're doing Amy's story, and yet again, it's gonna be all of it, because it's gonna be awkward just having one of her stages at the beginning of Gamma's thing when she only has 3 stages. Well, honestly, I just really wanted to get this out of the way because I haven't been recording Sonic a lot ever since that live stream. I just haven't been feeling up to it, really. So anyway, Twinkle Park. Here, I'm actually playing with the right EXE, and that geometry is gone now. I'm not cheating like I did before. Except, I pretend not to cheat. So anyway, we're starting off from Sonic's position this time. And we have to hit that switch in the merry-go-round to go up here. Well, we didn't have to do that, but if we want to actually finish the stage, we need to do that. And here, well, that was the first switch, and this is the second one. I'm thinking that the third switch might have been in the pool, but I didn't actually look. Not in this playthrough or my practice playthrough. Because you can just hit that spring and go up here. And end up skipping the entirety of Amy's own section. I'm not sure where the third switch is. I might end up finding it afterwards, but here's where you actually press to activate the rocket later on. But since we already pressed the how switches work in Sonic Adventure is that if they're part of this, if there's more than one, then if there's more than one switch that you put in a level, then it's going to assume both switches are the same. If you press one of them, the other one will be pressed as well. So it'll activate the same thing that they're tied to. Here, one of the switches I pressed isn't the same one. Isn't the one that's being treated as the same one as the one that's being used for the rocket. It might have been the second switch I pressed. That's not the one that's the important one. It sounds confusing, but so here's the rocket. And despite what it might look like at the beginning, it's not a weird jump. It's just walk off the edge at a reasonably fast speed. Reasonably fast, I mean. And that's nice using the floating boats. But since they're not actually used as actual level geometry in regular SADX, they don't have proper collision. And here's something else. This door is missing. Why? Why is this door missing? I pressed the button anyway, even though it probably didn't make a difference. So anyway, hot shelter.
Hold on to the handle and turn the key to the left to open the door.
Hot shelter. You don't have to go any different routes. Like, the only route you take is the same one you've been taking as Amy. You don't go into Gamma's section or Big's, which is nice. But here, if you have the long hammer, you can just destroy that last badnik throwing bombs, because he's gonna bomb the staircase if you fall down into the water. With the running shoes and the long hammer, you can destroy him without having to do that jumping puzzle. But since you can't get the long hammer before this point, at least I don't think you can, you have to do that jumping puzzle. If you don't, if you end up falling into the water and that guy's still alive, you might as well just reset the level, because you're not about to get past him. Here, I forget that you have to do a puzzle for this door. But it's alright. This section ain't so bad. The second one, though, is... About last video, I think I forgot to mention a few things. But now I can't even remember what they were, so they probably weren't all that important anyway. It feels like they were important though. I don't know why that guy just disappears all of a sudden. You'd think he would still be there, attacking you while you're at your most vulnerable. That's a complaint a lot of people would make, being attacked when they're most vulnerable. Here, it makes sense, because, like, he's trying to catch you, or rather, he's trying to catch the bird. Well, later on, it's revealed that he's just a dick. But still, he should be attacking. So it's either he shouldn't be there at all, or he attacks you. That's just the thing with the game design. With the mod design, first of all, fuck those guys. They're friggin' everywhere. Like, ugh. The mod maker knows you must hate them, and decides to put them everywhere where applicable. It's great whenever the enemy blows themselves up. Less of a nuisance that way. Here, the switch to fix the gears is gone. So you have to do what I've been doing in my main playthrough. Just run and jump. Not that big of a deal. Free camera is your best friend here. Really, free camera is your best friend in pretty much any of the levels. But much more so in Hot Shelter and Final Egg. We'll get to Final Egg when we get there. So you know how this mod likes to put a ton of enemies everywhere? Even in some really troublesome situations? Like, I could really do without these enemies here. Well, there's a whole bunch of these chameleon enemies here. Why would you put so many of these guys here? I mean, my goodness. You can barely hit him most of the time. Like, I can't even get to my goddamn rings before my invincibility wears off. And I spend so much time trying to kill these motherfuckers that I'm just gonna have to cut ahead to where I actually start putting these blocks into I start figuring out the puzzle. I say figure out. I already know what the puzzle is, but still. I mean, god damn! Chameleon enemies? Against Amy? Who has very little offensive power anyway? Okay, she has more reach than the characters. Like, I mean, her weapon is like the same. Right now, I'd say it's the same length as Tails' tail swipe, tail attack. I mean, and with the long hammer, it's even better. But the way she uses it is just terrible. And the warrior feather doesn't really help all that much, because you have to stand still first and then start swinging the hammer. And with all those enemies bombarding you, you really cannot do that. The warrior feather is the worst item in the game anyway. I don't see any use for it. Whereas with Sonic, he has the lightspeed attack. Tails, he has the rhythm badge. And Knuckles, he has the maximum heat. Knuckles attack. Wait, what? Fighting gloves, I mean. I'm just calling. Whatever. So why would you put up a... Even Gamma has a better chance of fighting. Because he has long range. He has long range attacks. He doesn't have to get up close and personal. So it's annoying when it does that. So it's annoying during that segment. The rest of it. He also put two enemies in the middle of a small corridor. Like, why? I can't even avoid him. It's like Spelunky, where you're faced with a tight corridor against a bat. And you have, like, a bat? Nah, a giant spider, I'm gonna say. Or maybe even a shopkeeper. Now that's even worse. But that's Hot Shelter. Into Final Egg, I didn't show it. We're gonna see it later on anyway. We have to hit a switch to get another rocket. To slightly lead into Sonic segment, which is basically just the shortcut of all of this. So we're just going all the way back around just to go where we were already gonna go throughout this path. I mean, okay. I'm not sure which one is actually worse, Hot Shelter or Final Egg here. Yeah, I guess it's still Final Egg. Because of some of the bullshit it does sometimes. The real bullshit comes along later. Right now it's just being docile. Here, you don't go through Amy's end, obviously. You have to go through Sonic's segment. So guess what? It's another Switch puzzle. And just like in Sonic's story, the Switch is always in the same spot. This time behind the purple door. Instead of being the second to the right. if I remember correctly. Okay, so this part. First of all, when we get to it, you see that platform over there? That's the platform that Sonic uses in the second part of Final Egg. That raises up, and thanks to the switch. We are trying to get to that platform, and to do it, we have to do multiple hammer jumps. And this is the first time I've ever seen a mod make use of hammer jumps. Because of this segment, I thought it might be useful to grab the long hammer for attempting this level. Now that's just bullshit. I mean, you hit... It must be because he was doing his attack. His electric attack. Because I got pushed off the platform. When, goddamn it, I'm not supposed to do that. I had that jump correctly. But, it's not fair, I don't like it. So, continuing on. We go to this segment. Since wings aren't as fast, you need to use the spring. And you're gonna have to use hammer jumps in order to get hit. And are we going into Sonic's part of the stage? Part of... yeah. Messed up. But whatever. No, we are not. The stage ends here for Amy. Which is weird, considering, some stages, if you play with a different character, you end up going to the next part of the stage. But here you don't. In other levels, you don't. If you try, nothing happens, and you're most likely gonna die. So here's Zero without wings. I legit think he's actually harder now. Like, besides the no rings thing. And first of all, does he even slam the ground that much? Oh my god. Here. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? This is a move I've never seen before. I've never seen that move before. He always does the slam or or he tries to punch you. I have never seen him extend his arms like that and spin them around. Never once in my life. So I freaked out. And kinda cursed the game out a little. Because how are you supposed to know that besides waiting for that to happen? I wonder if that was actually in the game or the expert mode added that. Because it was unused. I mean, I believe it. It did it before. I've seen it done before. In a segment that we're going to be seeing in the future. But for now, that's it for Amy's story. Come back next time for Big.